Day 1, Session 2 of the 2023 World Bowls Championships here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club, and it is men's para pairs action, Australia versus England, yet again as it was this morning in the women's para pairs, but it's Damien Delgado and Jimmy Reynolds up against Fynn, Kyser and Jack Pullin of England. Very much looking forward to this one. Val Febo here with you and joining me as he did in the first session and will do throughout the entirety of the fortnight here in Queensland. It's the one and only Barry Lester.
Thanks, Val. Yeah, a couple of my favourites. Love Damo and Jimmy, ripping blokes and great players. And the conditions, mate, look at those clouds. I know we don't want to talk about rain.
Stop talking about the weather, Barry.
We want those clouds to, stay out to the west there and
go away.
Go away, yes. But no, looking forward to this game. And, yeah, another repeat of this morning, the Ashes game.
Yep, certainly is. And big win this morning for Damo and Jimmy over Thailand. Just waiting to update you on the score from the England match this morning. Just waiting for all the results to be uploaded. They were down against Hong Kong and they were defeated 15-7 by the Hong Kong-China pair. So looking to get their campaign off to a 50-50 start. Australia looking to maintain their 100% record.
Yeah, that's always a bonus. And as we see, we've switched directions. We spoke about that a bit in the first game, about how important it is to keep the rinks moving, keep the wear even. So players have gone from a headwind and a tailwind to now a crosswind, and they have to readjust, and they've had their roll-up, just waiting for the hooter.
East-west and north-south. And Damo and Jimmy, Damo, of course, a Commonwealth Games silver medalist from last year. The pool, as it stands at the moment, Baz, sees Australia sitting in second place, Hong Kong in first, England sitting in fourth position, Thailand in third, and Wales are playing their first match against Hong Kong, China coming up. So they sit in fifth position, having had the bye in the opening round. In the other section of this competition, 3 matches took place this morning. Singapore defeated Japan. New Zealand defeated Korea. South Africa defeated the Commonwealth champions in Scotland. So the top 2 will go through from each pool here. Looking to get through to a semi-final. Really looking forward to this contest, and we know that Jimmy is a seasoned campaigner. Baz, he's been around the high-performance setup. He retired and came back, but he played in Manchester 2002. It's a long time ago now, and Damien Delgado obviously bowls up here in Queensland and plays at Club Tweed, and he knows these conditions very, very well, so it'll be a big task for the English.
Yeah, I remember 21 years ago, 20 years of age, sitting there at home watching the Manchester Commonwealth Games and seeing Jimmy in action. It was a wet and cold and sort of miserable conditioned lawn bowls event in Manchester 2022, playing through puddles, etc. But I remember seeing Jimmy in action, and yeah, it's great to see him stick at it, working within the sport. But I've got to know Jimmy pretty well over the years, and what a competitor, but what a class player. He's absolutely class, and you'll see that out here on this live stream match. Some really good shots, and Damo, well, he's just a bull up front. He just gets the job done. He packs the heads, and yeah, wears his heart in his sleeve. Old Damo, I got to know him really well last year on tour overseas during Games.
He's a great fella, isn't he?
Really good fella, family man, and his story itself for his accident he had to go through, and he's set back in life, but he's moving forward in the right direction with his bowling career, and he's got the great support of his club. And, someone that loves the game of bowls and loves being around the people. Yeah,
he does. And speaking of class fellas, Jimmy Reynolds had him on as the hooter goes. Australia will kick things off. Jack Roll and Australia are the blue bowls, both of them using Dreamline XGs. And then Aero Optima for Fynn, Kyser. Jack Pullin with the Taylor GTRs. England in red, Australia in blue. And yeah, look at Jimmy, such a great fella. Had him on Bowls Australia's podcast, The Right Line, back after he was selected for this tournament. And the passion in which he has for this sport is unwavering, isn't it, Baz?
Yeah, it is, and he loves being around the game, being around the people, loves a bit of a banter, loves a bit of a chuckle, and he's just a well-rounded fella, and always been such a classy player. I remember the first time I saw him play live, I was just like, wow, you are literally a gun at this game, and nothing's really ever changed. And I really got to know him well as a good fella. And one thing I just want to touch on here, for some reason, I don't know why, but the jack really moves well on this particular green in this direction. So I don't want to put the moz on both leads, but I think we might see a couple of lost jacks already. Damo, I don't think he was trying to put it onto the tee, but it got there easily. So it might be just that little southeaster that gets in behind the jack a bit. But
this second session at Broadbeach, we know how things can move when the sun really hits. Damo has lost that one. Lance, maybe we've checked the volume on our end. Everything sounds okay, so maybe just check your settings and make sure everything's all sorted on your end. Definitely not our.
Yeah, there's an indication straight away. Two bowls just sort of rolling right through and reaching the ditch easy. So there's an indicator already in backing up what I was saying. For some reason, this particular direction, you'll see a couple of bowls lost to the ditch and maybe a few jacks without putting the moz on the team, of course, on the players.
So Fynn, Kyser.
Lefty.
Yep. Like you, Barry.
Good to see. Good to see. We need more of them. Anyone out there, left-hander, let's get him on the TV. Let's get some more lefties out there. What a great shot. Perfect correction. Just 2 feet in front.
As we said before, off the top, England looking to get themselves off to a 50-50 start. They lost their first match this morning against Hong Kong.
So Jack Pullin on his way to the mat. And Jimmy Reynolds. Plenty of energy coming out of Jack. I saw last game, lots of presence on the rink, chasing after the bowls, up and down. Great to see plenty of energy out there from the players. Day one, keen. Jimmy Reynolds finds himself one down. Plenty of room for Jimmy, though. 2 feet of room. Backhand it is. 36-metre length. Almost a shave off that wing bowl, but as we see, and I've already covered it a fair few times, I know, but it just runs that bit freer in this direction.
So yeah, everyone, we are trying to check on this sound, but we've played it on our end here and on our phones, and everything sounds okay. So I'm not sure what the issue might be. So first end here, 15 ends for the men's para pairs and all the para disciplines, and of course in the pool stages we play out all the ends. Shots up matters. Could be that one shot that determines finishing first or second or making it through to the semi-finals as Jimmy Reynolds puts in a beauty behind the jack.
All class. Both lanes for Jimmy so far, right on the mark. Just had to drop the weight and he did it straight away. That's that brilliance he has. Can correct easy. Can he double up? Get another one in there. Seems to be slightly tighter. Breeze just holding it out of touch though. He's stalking it. Jimmy Reynolds. He couldn't, could he? Yes, he can.
Yes, he can. Because it's Jimmy Reynolds and the Jimmy Reynolds fan club on the balcony near us. very, very pleased, as they should be. His wife has travelled down, or up, I should say, from the ACT.
Yeah, up north.
And he's just joined Cabra as well, the Cabra Bull Ants. So he's changed clubs recently, Jimmy, and bowls with a lot of the other Australian bowlers out there. Alan Ryan, Jamie Lee Warsnop, Carl Healy, Jesse Cattell's out at Cabra as well. Great Gary Willis.
Jack Pullin, he's gone through there. Two to the Aussies.
Good start for Australia as they look to go 2 from 2 on this opening morning of the 2023 World Bowls Championships. Top 2 in each section go through. Section 1, which is where the Aussies are. There are 5 teams. Section 2 has a full allotment of 6, so there'll be buys for some of the teams in the first section. And another one that looks like it's going to be right on the tee, Barry Lester.
Yeah, very encouraging from Jimmy there. 3 bowls on good lines, 2 of them on good weights. So that's that hand ticked off. That's done for the rest of the day. Just knowing what it's doing. It's the important part of your roll-up. Try to really focus on your roll-up and knowing the line and feeling the weight. And interesting to see how this runs on back to the clubhouse here from Damo. Into a slight headwind. That's a lovely start.
Yep.
18 inches short. So we've switched directions. We've got now the wind just swirling a fraction as we've got a little bit of cloud building out to the west. And as the temperature's rising at the moment.
Yep. Currently it's 22 degrees. It was 17 when we started this morning in the para women's pairs where England overcame Australia. So, great start from Jimmy Reynolds, and the fans already flocking in to voice their appreciation for a man that has won so many open titles in the ACT, has represented them, and the champion of champions on many occasions, and has also skipped the ACT Open side at the side series. So he's a very accomplished bowler, is Jimmy Reynolds. Looking for that maiden World Championships gold medal as Fynn Kyser looks to come through and obstruct things here. Still 2 to Damien Delgado in this battle of the leads.
Just seeing the opposites here, Val. So last time we saw a lot of bowls finishing through, just running on towards the ditch and into the ditch, and we're just seeing the opposite here. So bowls just pulling up, no doubt, slightly shorter.
Are they being more cautious, or is that just the way that they're going?
The conditions, yeah, it's always just sort of been like that, as I said earlier, throughout the sort of August, September months. Southeaster gets up a bit, and they're back playing into that now. Damo switching to the forehand, just finishing through. Right idea to get behind.
So Fynn Kyser
chasing after it.
He liked it straight away.
Didn't he? Up and about.
Yep, he was moving with that bowl the entire time. How's this going to go? Fynn Kyser just comes past. Will it stay up? He wants it to, and it does.
Handy.
Yep, so Damien Delgado lost one. One at the back. Who knows how handy that could be for the English. And then looking at Jimmy Reynolds, though, he's going to want to add to the pain because it was a good start to the end from Damien Delgado. And 2 of 15. These two have gelled really well together from what I've heard over the past few weeks, and they're in constant contact. Jimmy's been travelling up here to bowl and practice. One of the Pathways coaches as well, Baz.
Yeah, as I mentioned,
do it all.
Yeah, working in the sport, playing the game at the highest level. If he stays on, he's very handy. I'm sensing there could be some aggression from Jack Pullin.
That has stayed on. Unbelievable. So Jack Pullin, let's see what he can conjure up here.
It's pretty close.
Not far away, Fynn Kyser on his haunches. edging it in, telling it to hurry,
Great shot.
and that's enough.
So first bowl two in this direction. Puts one within 18 inches. Quick, clear call from Damo to Jimmy. Jimmy agreed. And so we're going to see some weight here on the forehand. Promote the shot, their nearest bowl, or sit the shot bowl. We speak about class players. Jimmy Reynolds, this is one of his fortes.
Class with a capital C. What's he got for us?
He's stiff.
Well, that's unlucky. The good thing is now there's a target for him to promote the 3 Australian bowls that are there to try and wrestle shot back. They're down, I reckon that's 2 at the moment. Jack Pullin will want to try and get another one in here. Really put the pressure on the Aussies.
Yeah, right weight from Jimmy, just half a bowl off line. He's got a little bit of work to do, especially if Jack can get another one in there. He's trying hard, so he's probably going to be a bit of a nuisance up there. But I still think that's the right shot from Jimmy. Forehand. Sort of draw to the ditch and turn one of the blues up on the way in. You generally know with Jimmy, experienced player, out of the hand. Watch the body language. Traditionally, the narrower side of the rink, that hand can hold out a bit. Needs the right connection. Jimmy Reynolds. Can he get Jack? He can.
Jimmy Reynolds. He does it yet again, as he's been doing for the past 2 decades. Big high five there from Damien Delgado. And now the question asked of Jack Pullin yet again. What can he conjure up?
Well, you just have to see their caps. Jimmy Reynolds, 6p on his cap versus Damien Delgado, 24p. That's their Australian representative number in the para disciplines.
So we've got the replay going there for Jimmy's last bowl. Have a look at this.
Beautiful speed.
Yep. It's exactly what he wanted. And Lachlan Williams, a credit to him, that is. He's been working on this for such a long time, and the head wobble that he's got right now. Well done, Loch. That's a couple of years in the making, I reckon.
Yeah,
you don't have to do another one now. That's it. You've reached your pinnacle.
That's what Jimmy does. Brings out the best in him.
Yep. Just been waiting to stream Jimmy Reynolds.
So, tough shot here for Jack. Not a lot of options on. Doesn't want to take his own out. He probably has got 2 seconds, though. He doesn't want to go red. He can be 4 down. So this is where early on you don't want to do anything too silly. Try and promote his own with a bit of weight.
How is he? He's just going to go over the top. So Australia get yet another one. So a 3-0 buffer to the Aussies to start proceedings here. And I dare say they'll be continuing to try and maintain this length. Scott Hodgett's asking how the ladies went this morning. Unfortunately, from an Australian standpoint, Serena Bonnell and Cheryl Linfield went down to England. It was 19-15 in the favour of Jenny Sanford and Jill Platt. Australia scoring a 5 in the final end to get that margin back to 4, which will be highly advantageous, you would think, in terms of the shots up count. Are we losing a Jack here, Barry? That is staying right
Flirting
up.
with it.
Yep. They are moving, but another long length, and Jimmy and Damo will try and make use of this, especially for the English who come from those heavier greens. You know, flirting with this touch and weight might be a more difficult thing than what they're used to doing unless you're training on indoors. Geez, the love for Jimmy Reynolds is pouring through in the comments, and it is great to see. So Fynn Kyser looking to take a stranglehold on this end here. Needs it to come back.
So no one quite nailing it just yet.
No. But he's passed, and I think that's what he'll be happy with.
Both lines pretty handy.
Yep.
Just took a walk around the trade stand, the marquee.
Oh,
wow,
great,
what a great setup. Yep. So for those bowlers and spectators of the area that are in town for the next couple of weeks, you've got everything in one spot down there in the trade stand.
Puma doing a wonderful job in providing a lot more options here as well. Great to see the Puma apparel being worn by our volunteers here as well, who are proudly supported by Apia. And then the Jackaroos kits, how good do they look, Baz?
Yeah, and just on that, Val, I love to see England. They've actually got a sponsor on their uniform too. So,
Aviva?
You want to see more of it. New Zealand, you'd love to see, ideally, every country supported back from where they're from, someone locally or a major, get right behind them. And, there's some large worldwide brands, and you just hope that they can somehow connect with their country bowlers and representing their country on the highest level and get some brand sponsorship. So it's good to see.
Exactly right. Terry Morrison saying Jimmy goes okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry, we know you love Jimmy Reynolds and you love all things ACT bowls. The father of Chloe Morrison, emerging Jackaroo, had his birthday about a week and a half ago. So happy birthday again, Terry. So a good end there from Fynn Kyser. I think he'd be pretty happy with that. He's got 3 bowls past. Damo with 2. So a lot for the skips here to work with. And the way Jimmy Reynolds has been bowling, he would be very pleased with this setup. Where does he go? What would you do if you're Jimmy now, Baz?
Jimmy just has to press replay on the 2 out of the 3 deliveries had on the first end in this direction. Backhand, he absolutely nailed it. So he'd be comfortable in hitting the line, knowing that he did that 3 times on the first end and just feeling the weight. This hand is slightly narrower, so if you haven't got the weight, they will get down for you like that one.
Yeah, it turned pretty much to the gravitational pull of Damien Delgado's first bolt.
And then the forehand, which we haven't seen hardly any of coming in this direction, which is the east side, the ocean side, it's a much wider side. We find across the Gold Coast, pretty much every club you play at, the ocean side is the wide side on any green.
So Jimmy Reynolds just needs to make that correction now. And let's see what he does now. Why is that, Baz, about the ocean side?
Well, I'm not highly enough skilled. My 27 years of bowls does help a little bit, but great shot, Jimmy Reynolds.
He does it again.
It's a word that's probably not used enough in bowls. It's the grain, I believe. The way the grasses grows towards the sun. I believe that's the case. And the majority of our wind does come off the ocean too. So,
yep.
But I think it's got to do with the grain. We hear a lot about it in golf. Everything you hear in golf when the ball is on the putting surface is all about grain. But, yeah, I'm trying to learn more in that space, Val, because it's something that's so prevalent everywhere you go. The wide side is that eastern ocean side. And that's pretty much nearly all of Australia, anywhere up the east coast.
It is. So now Jimmy Reynolds, he's holding sway at the moment. Would love to add in a second. Australia have taken the first 2 ends of this contest here. Got off to a winning start this morning over Thailand, sitting second in their group behind Hong Kong, China, who defeated this English pair of Kyser and Pullin.
Look at that release.
Beautiful, isn't it? Great technique.
The back knee, it gets down really nice and sharp. Gets him low to the ground. He's always done that, Jimmy. Beautiful technique. Wants this to get down.
Is it going to stop?
That's enough.
That will do, I believe.
That's enough in where I'm sitting, Val.
Just wonder where that bowl at 8 o'clock sits in the standpoint of things. Or in the scheme of things. Let's see.
Good home, because the jack was going to be worth a couple on the trail there. So, as you see, he's done it every time so far. Followed his second bowl, Jack Pullin. He has to walk back for his third. That's the energy he's trying to bring. Clocking up the Ks.
Jack Pullin with that right hand. See what he can do here.
Needs to get down. As you can see, the angle's much narrower on that hand.
It is, but I think he's got enough weight to get there. He'll sit one out. So it'll just be the one to the Aussies. So England remain scoreless. Australia with a 4-0 lead to commence proceedings here. Session 2 here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. Of course, 5 clubs hosting the 2023 World Bowls Championships. Broadbeach, Helensvale, Musgrave, Paradise Point and Mudgee Bar. And we thank all of the clubs and all of the volunteers at the clubs for their dedicated work to this sport and making this tournament what it is. And of course, there's the first World Bowls Championships in 7 years. The first one in Australia in 11 years, Baz. And Adelaide 2012 was the last time it was here.
Yeah, Lockley's Bowling Club.
Of course, all 10 Open Jackaroos came home with a gold at that tournament. Will history repeat itself, and will all the Para Jackaroos go home with a gold? Damien Delgado, and a great bit of sportsmanship there by Jack Pullin, raising his hat and saying good bowl.
You love to see the opposition just give their leg a little tap. You see it in many other sports as well. I love it when a player scores 100 in cricket and the players either clap from the field or shake their hand when leaving the ground. I love all that stuff. There's probably a level, though. You don't want to overdo it to the point where you're nearly teammates. But yeah, it's a nice gesture just to say, you know what, too good.
Yep.
Tap your leg or however you want to go about it. But Damien Delgado, that's absolutely what you want from a lead. Just in behind the jack, right down the middle of the rink.
You see Aaron Tees is a really good exponent of that.
Always has been,
yeah.
Teesy. Yep.
You know, he is such a good sport and plays matches in a great spirit. And we'll see it throughout the tournament here when he's on the stream and when he's on the broadcast. You know, he is such a good sport. They got off to a win this morning as well. Aaron Tees and Aaron Wilson. Aaron squared. And Alan Ryan also got off to a win. Now, this one probably won't get down for Fynn Kyser, so Damien Delgado with his final bowl will try and really put a stranglehold on this end for the Aussies. They'd love another multiple, Baz.
Yeah, Damo can afford just to be there, work the jack across the face of his own shot bowl, and just slide in behind. But ideally, just keep the lane clear for Jimmy. On the inside of that, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's nice.
So Jimmy's still got good clean access to that head on the forehand.
So, Canberra Bowling Club, strike hard Jimmy, a.k.a. King Cobra. Now, Fynn Kyser.
He's after this.
After this again, as he was before. Now, he's really after this, is Fynn Kyser.
Jack forward. It's the first one today.
He's so stiff.
He's cut it back to 1. Jack forward, well, you don't see it very often. Probably sometimes you see it a lot, but it just works that way sometimes. But yeah, we're
mightily unlucky, Baz.
Yeah, he probably half an inch more of that jack. He runs off and sits next to it in the ditch.
So we look at the replay there. He was right after it. He was just saying, hold, hold. It did. It just spliced it onto that.
It's a much better head, though, for Jack. Jack Pullin, his skip. He's done his job as a lead. He didn't kill the bowl. It's still alive in the ditch. Played it well. Great weight control for his skip, just to open the head up. Jimmy, I just love that technique. That back knee, nice and low, in behind the bowl. Could watch him bowl all day. Just going a little bit quick on this one. That's not bad, though. Handy home.
Very handy there. So, Jack Pullin hasn't really asserted himself on this contest as of yet. But there is plenty of time for that because this is only N4 of 15. What's he got here? What has he got here, Jack Pullin?
Jack Pullin. That's the shot. He's really starting to pull his weight now.
Oh, Barry. I got a little nudge as you're about to say that.
Still back at Sanford Bridge. That was pretty good. Jimmy Reynolds.
First question that's been asked of Jimmy today to try and wrestle shot back from his opposing skip. And he's just gone through, so he's got one more to come.
Yeah, look at that little nest forming.
Yeah. A trail of the jack really will hurt England if they can't get a bowl in there, and that's exactly where Fynn Kyser is telling Jack Pullin to put his bowl.
Yeah, he's asking him just to play it first here, even if he does trail it into the nest.
He's got one more after this anyway. But Jack's running in behind it. Where's this going to end up?
Not bad. It's still on here.
So Jimmy Reynolds, if he can trail this, there is a big collect on offer.
King Cobra. Can he strike? Jimmy Reynolds' forehand here. This is what the game's all about, making the most of your opportunities to present themselves.
That's what a World Championships is all about. Jimmy Reynolds.
Needs this jack.
He's not far. Almost got it.
How good was the weight control from Jimmy? Everyone cheering that on in the grandstand.
Yep. The Jimmy Reynolds fan club was up. And they were very close.
So close.
Philip asking if there's TV coverage of this event. Yes, there is on both finals weekends. So this Saturday and Sunday, the 2nd and 3rd of September at Club Helensvale. And then the 9th and 10th of September right here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. So we've got 7 finals this weekend. All 3 para-disciplines and the 4 open disciplines that are being contested this week. And then 4 finals in the second weekend. So it's a big week of bowls action here in the first week. It dwindles down a little bit in the second as Jack Pullin tries to get a second in here. What's he done, Barry?
It falls.
Might have done enough.
Hey, he's very close.
1.
Okay. Good effort.
But they are on the board, and that's exactly what they needed. So a 4-1 lead to Australia after 4. England draw their first shot of the match. So nearly a third of the way through this contest. It looks as though Australia have the momentum. Jimmy Reynolds has been on fire and was ever so close to securing a lot there and putting some real pressure on Jack Pullin's last bowl.
Oh, there we go. And Jack in the ditch.
Well, that's the first time they've actually rolled the jack here, Baz. Australia.
Yes, but it just goes to show, I don't know what it is. It's like this mystery curse thing. But rolling a jack on this particular green is, everyone talks about it. It's the jack just seems to run on more. So interesting to see how Damo adapts as well. But I've seen it way too many times for it to be a simple thing to correct. But yeah, it messes with my head a little bit. As we see Damo, what's he done? He's in as well. So I don't have a genie bottle. I do not have a genie bottle anywhere or a glass crystal ball or whatever they are, but I just know that they are the conditions and the players are finding out.
So Colin Bray's not watching now. When you tune into Ringside Live, you often see Colin on the comments, and he's our resident jack counter. Now I'm going to have to fire him after his efforts today because he hasn't been here. But we've already lost 2 in one end. Don't see it happen much.
And a few bowls. So Fynn is rocking the spalms. He's got the protective sleeves on. Really stylish. And they're very good protective equipment. We're seeing a lot of people out in the sun. You've got to be protecting yourself. So, yeah, we're seeing a lot of athletes at these World Championships wearing the protective
I reckon he's been in contact with Chloe Stewart, who's doing wonderful work at Spalms, one of our right-at-home jackaroos.
See a lot of golfers wear them now.
Yep. Yeah, Chloe's been doing a mountain of work trying to get a lot of athletes wearing them and doing very well.
So he's turned his back on that one, has young Fynn. So that's just going to find its way to the back of the rink here. Will it stay on? Well, that's 2 out of 3 gone.
Yeah, really playing tricks on the bowlers here. Only one of the 3 that have been sent down is still on the rink. Real good knowledge here that the skips, I'm sure, are making note of, and they'll analyse what's happening. Damo's gone wide. He'll hope to get this one to come back.
It should get back.
Yeah.
You watch this sharp turn from about here through that 6-foot area. It gets back nice.
Oh,
So that's a great shot.
The correction on that was magnificent.
Yeah, stuck to his guns, nailed the line again, and just felt the weight. So young Fynn, Kyser, just overdoing it.
He's not happy with that one either, and he's just made the correction too short again, so he's ended up where he's first did. So Damien Delgado, a real chance here to give Jimmy Reynolds a lot to work with.
Backhand.
Same line, and he's taking that oceanside wide turn, Baz.
Yeah, no doubt, Val. It's very iconic here. Broadbeach, across the 3 or 4 greens. Look at this, Damo, getting back beautifully.
Even better than the last. Damien Delgado.
All class. You see the angle much stronger. You know, you're probably looking at 6 or 7 feet of draw out there versus the other side, 4 or 5 feet. Much stronger and prevalent draw. Look at this bowl coming on this high angle. You see it right out to the peg line there.
I'm sorry, I think we need to give Lockie a World Bowls Championships gold medal for this.
And in it comes. So, for me, if you want to be a consistent draw player and really set up your front, your back end players, wide side for me, let the bowl do all the work. Definitely get a really good feel for everything when you can let the bowl do all the work. As we see, Jack Pullin, he's out there as well.
We've got a wrong bias on the rink next door. Let's just come towards Jack Pullin.
Someone's swapped the stickers? No? You got to be careful. No, they wouldn't do it at this level. I've known a few people to do it, though. Playing games, swapping your stickers over.
So what has Jimmy Reynolds got? He's gone on the tightest side.
Yeah, just trying to finish where the jack may end up if there's contact.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy Reynolds. Come on. It's so good.
Yeah, that's perfection. He's covering any jack movement in there, and he's counting.
Jack Pullin, he doesn't mind it, but it might come underneath here. I don't think he's taken the wider line that Damien Delgado has, and that's going to drop short as well. So Jimmy Reynolds with a chance to add a 4th here for Australia.
You know, I mentioned in the previous match, Val, ditch to ditch just seems to be the harder length to really nail and get close for some of the countries that are coming out here playing fairly foreign conditions, trying to perfect your game over that distance. As we see here, bit of an end off for England. I don't think you'll see young Fynn when he gets the mat back next go long. I don't think he was deliberately trying to go long anyway. It's just that Jack rolled on him. But can Jack Pullin try and reduce the count here or change his head up? He's in the area.
Jack Pullin.
He's done something. Well, Jack's going to stay in.
It is, but the problem is I still think that's 3 to Australia. Just depends on where that back bowl of Fynn Kyser sits.
He might have reduced it back to 2. It was a good shot, though.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Reynolds has a mountain of room here.
Yeah.
So you'd back him in to just pop one in.
Yeah, and this is where, interesting, you know, it's a draw shot to count, but you don't need to go anywhere near the jack. Your line isn't the jack line. Your line is probably 2 feet inside the rink, just in case there is a gust or anything does come up.
Yep.
Just find a nice line, 2 feet narrow.
Jimmy Reynolds.
T-weight should get him in.
Yeah, that'll do.
And he's played it really well, just inside the jack, nicely.
So what's the score going to be here? Definitely 3. No, that's a 4. Scoreboard attendant flips over a quartet of cards And it is an 8-1 buffer to the Australians. What a way to respond, Barry. They dropped their first end of the match at end number 4. They responded with a 4.
Yeah, playing bowls into the right areas. That's what I'm loving so far. Damo lost one in the ditch then, but still good areas. Nailed the jack. And then the end before that, same thing. Just putting them into that nested area where they have value. On or beyond is the key. And so far, that's given Jimmy a look at some heads, some clear access to the heads. No bowls to negotiate. And
2 umpires for this match, Di Milner and Joan Prosser. Great to have the 2 South Australians working on this match, doing a wonderful job. A really great start for the Australians as they look to go 2 from 2 at this 2023 World Bowls Championships on their home soil.
That's almost the perfect lead bowl from Damien Delgado. 2.5 feet past the jack, right down the middle. So 2 really positive things to come of that. One, they're 8-1 up. They don't want to be looking down the barrel of letting the opposition chase a number or create a number. Damien is pretty much stopped that already by getting one in behind the jack. And he's also kept the hand nice and clear for Jimmy when he plays his 3 deliveries. So many positives to come from a lead being up.
Tell you what, Baz.
And you can get the reward by trailing it to your own. Well done, Damo.
He is playing a sensational match. Damien Delgado.
So young Fynn needs to find 6 feet of weight. I think he's almost time to give that forehand a spell, switch over and get on Damo's hand. Even just try and rattle Damo's access to the jack or access to the head, even if he doesn't nail it himself. Just dropped a couple too many short on this forehand here as Fynn.
Damien Delgado, he'll want this to stay up, and I believe it will. That's 3. Great lead bowling from the Australian. Now, Fynn Kyser, mountain of work to do here. He's really got to make this correction because they are under enormous pressure, this English duo.
Yeah, big correction required. Good lines, just...
Fynn Kyser.
Just missing high. Good effort.
But I reckon he's cut that down just to 1.
Yeah, as you go out on the high line, you have to obviously put more weight into it. So he's just having that battle of going, I need to throw it out wider. And as you do that, a lot of focus goes into that.
Yeah.
And then you just forget the other ingredient ever so slightly. So great correction from young Fynn there just to give his bowl a chance. Get second shot for his skip, and now he skips. Got an opportunity.
His final bowls have been really good, Fynn Kyser. You've seen that he's chased him in a few times, and he's actually been able to make that correction. But I think the thing that he'll try and focus on is getting it right early and not having to make too many alterations and giving Jack Pullin something to work with around the back. Jimmy Reynolds, he clears the front. He's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Jimmy Reynolds right in behind Damo's bowl.
That will do nicely. Really impressed with what Jimmy and Damo have done. And
so there's another one.
Yeah.
So as they're throwing it out wide, on the wide side, it hurts your weight control.
Yeah.
You're pushing it out so high, and to get it to do what you want it to do can affect your weight control. So Jimmy now needs a clear run.
I don't think he's going to get it. He's come underneath.
Just got connection there.
Yep, but that won't affect anything. So Jimmy's got 1 to come. Jack 2, including this one. Australia currently holding 2, I believe, on this, the 6th end of this contest. 15 ends to play, Baz. Damien Delgado receives a swig of water. This one's going to come through, and Jimmy's up a little bit again. Nothing doing. Been really impressed with the Australians, Baz, and the way they've been able to lock in.
Yeah, no doubt. I think what I really like the most is just that ability to give the bowls a chance. And then Jimmy knows no matter what happens here, he's got insurance. He's got not only 2 shots, but he's got the bowls in behind there. Only the 1 bowl up the front there. But, you never know. Jack Pullin could try and go really big, rip the 2 shot bowls out, but he knows any Jack movement, they're pretty secure. So that's the key. Jimmy on the backhand here. Just needs to find a bit more height. I think his weight was all right with his second delivery. He's not bad here.
Jimmy Reynolds.
What a shot.
King Cobra. I reckon that's going to do for 3.
Not knowing Jack's game that well, but this is, for me, a weighted shot. You can take all 3 bowls out.
Yeah. Let's see what he does.
Get the shot bowl. You can get them all inside of the shot bowl. Get the other 2 on the way out. Or, yes, we are seeing weight here. Backhand.
How close is he?
He's got connection up the front here. And out they go.
Nothing doing, so that's going to be a 3, I reckon, to the Australians. I'll wait for the scoreboard attendant to just confirm that. But that is a monumental end again for the Aussies. So impressive with the way. Yep, that is a 3. So 11-1. The Aussies are streaming ahead. We're not even at the halfway point of the contest.
Yeah, just a brand new start for England required. Okay, so break the game down into either 3 quarters or 2 halves. It's however you want to do it, but N6, something has to change now. And it might not change for the better on the scoreboard, but just mentally, just refresh your game. So I think young Fynn just needs to start on a new hand here. I'd ideally like to see him jump on Damo's hand. Damo's had a pretty clear run, especially this ditch side, even though he played the backhand going this way 2 ends ago. But I think Finn's got to sort of just try and throw Damo off slightly if he's not nailing it himself. So I like that from the skip. That's great. So Jack's indicated, mate, no, you got to give this narrow side a go. Just try something new.
So Jimmy Reynolds, he's loving what Damo's offered him throughout the entirety of this contest so far. Finn's first bowl, really good.
That's a really good start. So for me, that's it now. Unless he absolutely has to play backhand, he's just played a really good lead bowl, 1 yard past the Jack on the forehand. Unless that hand becomes completely blocked, for the rest of the game, he shouldn't have to play that backhand in this direction as a lead. You just need that critical mass, just those bowls around the head. Do your job for the skip.
Damo's just gone through there, so that won't do for shot. First time that Fynn Kyser has really been able to get some sort of ascendancy here. And how's the love for Jimmy Reynolds coming through on the comments? He's a very popular man.
Okay, so Fynn, he's got a pretty good line there. Of course, he's short, but still like that. You've got to be getting one really good component sorted, line or length.
Yep.
So one of them you might have to feel out throughout the game, and that's okay. But ideally, line, you should have it nearly sorted as soon as the roll-up's over and just get that sorted and then go with it.
It's just that sort of old faithful, something that you can just go back to and resort back to. Well, Damien Delgado puts one right on top.
Yeah, clear run at the Jack, nothing in his way, and made the most of it.
So Fynn Kyser, what's he got now? Walks in behind it. Let's see what he can respond with. He's been bowling pretty well up this end. That one's going to go past, but again, not a bad home.
And they're good lead bowls.
Yep. Great leading.
Ideally, you want shot, but they're good lead bowls.
So if we look directly above us, Barry Lester, clear sunshine. We look to our left.
To the west, yes.
Yeah, that's not looking so good.
No, that's just that, that's the the temperature that we got at the moment, just stirring the skies a bit. And, yeah, they're hopefully going to go around us. There's Jimmy Reynolds. Shapes up on the backhand here. Let's watch that back knee get right nice and low. Beautiful. Looking to draw another one here. Not bad. Really good line. Is it going to get there? Not quite, I don't think. It's a good opener, though.
So, Australia, halfway through this contest, almost sitting in a very commanding position. Jack Pullin and Fynn Kyser, a lot of work to do.
Yeah, as we see Jack there, just walking back to the head. He, Jimmy went up to the mat on his own. I'm not quite sure of the rule. But Jack came up on his own.
Jack Pullin.
And, well, what an attempt.
Beautifully done. That'll knock it out for shot.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yep,
so
more than enough. So Jimmy Reynolds asked the question, how will he respond?
He's hung on for shot there, so great conversion. Jimmy, can you do something similar? Backhand, looking for the shot bowl. Just disturb it, even turn it off the jack. Little slide.
Not too bad, but he'll want to make that correction. Jack with his penultimate bowl of the end.
So the closest bowl for Australia is protected, so Jimmy has free rein to run at this, but there is some drama. Shot bowl through the jack for 2 or 3 down in the ditch is not what you're after, so I think it'll still be that controlled timing weighted shot. 6 feet of weight. Jack round the corner or sit the shot bowl.
He's been nailing them as Jimmy Reynolds. Can he add to the collection? I don't think he's too pleased with that. He's turned his back on it.
Yeah, doesn't like it.
No, that's gone under, and I think it's short as well.
Yeah, didn't quite get through that one, Jimmy. He won't be happy with that.
So Jack Pullin comes up to inspect the head here. Is that shot on offer that you suggested, Baz?
Yeah, it's high risk. I'd be just taking the one, trying to draw another for 2. And for me, if I was England, I'd be playing short ends, no doubt about it. Damien on the long ends looks at home.
Also does Jimmy as well.
And I'd be getting young Fynn Kyser to jump on Damo's hand and play something short. And that, I think, for what I'm seeing, Jack doesn't mind playing a bit of weight, brings his attacking play into it more. You just brings that head closer to the mat and creates a better likelihood to get those weighted shots and be more effective. So, can he draw another? Needs to hang.
Jack Pullin looks tight and darts away at the end. So that will just be the one, but they are on the board for the second time in this contest here. And Australia have an 11-2 lead after 7 ends here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. It has been Jimmy Reynolds and Damien Delgado that have taken a stranglehold on this match. And let's see what the Englishmen do. This is much shorter than what we've seen, Baz.
Yeah, Jack charged straight up the ground. Yep. So that's good. That's good skipping. That's good leadership.
Just saying, bowl it short. That's exactly where Jack Pullin was standing. Fynn Kyser nailed the jack roll. So let's see how a shorter end goes for these 4 players. And let's see if England can make use of it. It's very important to try and get your length.
Yeah, he's done well here.
Not a bad start.
2 feet away. That's a good starter, with a new length, fairly new hand, considering he played those 3 forehand draws in this direction. Switch to the backhand on a new length, 1 inside, 2 feet, sort of 2.5 feet. That's good. And this just has to, not not throw Damo off, but just has to get in Damo's head a little bit. Just make sure he keeps working for it. As good a player as Damo is, I'm sure he can adjust, which he's done here.
And
but
adjusting, well, that might be his middle name because that's sensational.
And it just now brings the back of the rink into play. So if you're maybe spraying a couple, you want to be spraying them through the head, and it brings the back of the green into play versus losing them onto the bank.
That's a good bowl from Fynn Kyser.
Yeah, perfect weight, really, just to come down and trail the jack and then sit the bowl. And he just slid past. He's finished in a nice home. Damo repeat the dose here. He's going to be under.
Yep. Still holding shot, though, so the difference is here for just the second time in this match, Australia will have the final bowl of the end.
Yeah, something similar from Fynn. Shot, it would be nice, but pair a couple up, in round the back. Second best result. Good energy from the young fella.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Up and down the green. Just watching that's it. Just having a bit of a chat there. Opposition. Damo slides in under this red one. It's perfect.
Damien, Delgado. It's where he needed to be.
That's, yeah. Mayor's office.
So this is a really, really great showing of just adjusting and ability to change that length and be okay with it. Make those corrections and the alterations to weight. As the grey clouds get a little closer. Hopefully it doesn't hit.
So 7 years on from 2016 Christchurch. We're back. World Championship bowls.
Yep.
What a great shot from Jack Pullin.
Yep, that'll be one.
So the confidence levels for Jack Pullin to play that shot, to sit that bowl or trail a jack, a lot of it stems from where those two back bowls of Finn's are. Now, if Finn's two back bowls are in front of Jack, that changes the whole makeup of the head and how Jack approaches that shot. It's so important for those front-end bowlers and leads especially.
Jimmy Reynolds.
Nice slide. That's enough.
I reckon that has done enough. He was in the area. But you're right, those two back bowls, they stand out, don't they, Baz?
Yep.
The English red.
See Jack here.
He likes it. He's in behind.
He's got the bowl. He's got the gap.
Oh.
3 back bowls all of a sudden.
He can't quite believe it.
Does Damo start thinking, well, I think we need the tee?
Jimmy, of course, does have the final bowl here, so that's something that, as I said before, Australia haven't had much this match. I've often had to watch and wait. Jimmy will come underneath here.
And protects the shot bowl. I think it's back to a dead draw now for Jack Pullin, the English skipper, unless he tries to kill it and hope that Jimmy fails, but highly unlikely.
So, Ronald, they're not all Henselite. Everyone has their own different set of bowls, so not all the Jackaroos use Henselite. That's just Bowls Australia's partner. Damo and Jimmy both just happen to be using those. But Baz, you use Arrows. Lindsay Clark is Taylor.
Yeah, we saw Cheryl and Serena using the Taylor this morning.
Cheryl was Henselite.
Sorry, Henselite, and Serena using the Taylor. And yeah, it's you know what? It's just great to see the manufacturers supporting their athletes, their players. And the other thing that manufacturers do, they support the sport. And we, the athletes, I know myself personally, I have the ability to travel and play in tournaments and events because I'm sponsored by a manufacturer, and I can't do it without their support. And to see what the manufacturers have done for these players to organise their bowls and support them for this event is hats off to all of them.
Yep.
And the bowls community, the bowls public, whatever you choose to use, just know that these manufacturers are putting a lot back into the game, and this is pure evidence of that. So well done to all of them.
Echo those sentiments as Jack Pullin goes around the back. So an opportunity for Jimmy Reynolds to put in a second here for Australia as they look to extend the margin.
Yeah, a little bit of an in-betweener, that one. I think Jack was a bit of, should I draw, should I swing, should I drive? And then I think that was sort of a bit of an in-betweener in the end. So a lot of discussion was had. But Jimmy, he can actually half-cut this Jack for a number. A little walker off the front. Well, he's got some, Jack.
So it's probably made it a 2. Has it made it a 3 here? They're going to survey it, just the 2. So very close to being a little bit more than that for Jimmy Reynolds. What a start. Or what a finish, sorry, to that end. So 13-2, Baz.
Yeah.
Very, very commanding position for the Australians. They've been awesome from go to woe.
Yeah, it was a great head of bowls, really. Like I said, I love the fact that Fynn and Jack went short. They just tried something different and tried that different hand. They were holding shot earlier stage of that particular end, so it was working to a certain degree, but in the end, just the power of numbers from this Australian side, crowding the heads, creating opportunities. The more bowls you got in there, the more doors open. Damo on the backhand. Jack length 34 metres. And look at this for a start. Beautiful. He's settled in now. Had to do a little bit of swapping and changing earlier, but he's got this backhand down pat. Young Fynn needs to go with him. That's a nice starter. He's got the Jack. Well, he's halved off, but it's still a good opener from Fynn. Jimmy Reynolds, two-time Commonwealth Games athlete. Glasgow, 214. Been playing at the highest level on and off for many, many years. And not only is he a class player, but you cannot put a price tag on the experience the man has.
To apologise for these cameras as well. Sun beating down right on them.
Yeah, the temperature's really risen the last hour.
The clouds are coming in, though.
A little front coming in from the west. Well, it looks little from where we are, depending how much behind it, but hopefully it somehow moves around us. Damo forehand it is. Just finishing high. Flags are probably nearly the worst we've seen them today. They're just starting to swivel around as that front moves in. Players absolutely on top of their game, but sometimes the elements can just play trickery.
As they have done for my computer.
Well, a bit of electrical storm action in the air, mate. What a coincidence. As young Fynn, Kyser trails the Jack right back. And he's holding 2.
Nicely played.
Did England need that? Now can his skipper, Jack Pullin, capitalise, or will Jimmy, the King Cobra, strike again? So with the bowl, Jack bowl set up It's a 3-bowl target. The gaps are quite minimal. We see Jimmy look to try and just play a dead draw, get another one around it, or will he back himself to get down there? Remove one of the English bowls or bury the jack. A player of this ability wouldn't surprise me if he goes running, and that's what he's doing here.
Yep.
Jimmy Reynolds.
He reckons he's close here. Oh, he's found the gap.
He's gapped it. That's a good look, though. It's a good play. And that just keeps Jack thinking as well. Jack Pullin, the English skip. He's thinking, well, if Jimmy's going to go running at it, what do I do? Do I get in there first, maybe? Try and trail it myself. I think that's the play. Backhand. Looking to trail the jack either in the ditch himself or just put it in a spot that's harder for Jimmy to get to. And that's that offensive-defensive play. Two main components to the sport. And then play the shot that comes into your mind. Try not to be second-guessing yourself. And now he needs a clear run. He's played it well. Has Jack Pullin, the English skipper. Has he got some chalk?
No chalk, but he's in.
Well, it's just as good. All of a sudden, 3 down. I don't think Jimmy has to really change much. A couple of inches here and there, and he's either reducing or putting the jack in the pit. So he's definitely backed some weight off. Slower weight. Can he get this jack? Well, that's a better weight, Jimmy Reynolds.
Yep.
He's cut it back to 2. So by reducing the weight, it makes the holes smaller because you're coming in across the hole. So the gap, as we see there, the gap between the bowls and the jack, they are what they are, which if you drive, you can go straight through them, or if you're swinging across them, the hole is much narrower. So Jimmy's elected with that harder weight. I like this. Just moving down the rink, him and Damo, a bit of a chat. It's actually a pretty big moment in this game. You don't want him to get a bit of a sniff, England.
No, not at all. We do apologise for the cameras. The heat and the sun is just playing a few tricks on them, so we are working on it. Lockie's down over at the other end, just protecting them and putting them under some cover, so we do apologise. We'll be back with you with some pictures in a sec. We do apologise for this. That's what it's looking like at the moment. Live pictures there.
Okay, Jimmy Reynolds shaping up behind the mat. Backhand, runner.
So it'll come into your pictures very shortly. We do apologise again, Jimmy Reynolds. You'll see it coming.
He wants this jack, Jimmy Reynolds.
He got it, but where did it go to?
He's back cut it. 2 down, 2. Might be still 2 down.
Yeah,
it's hard to see
checking,
from here.
Yeah, just got a few people in our way.
3 good attempts from Jimmy. Stiff with his first, got the gap. He was always going to be close with one of the 3, and he left it to his last. Halved the jack into the ditch. And at the moment, we're just trying to get an indication on how many it is.
Yeah.
From here, for me, it looks like 2 to England. Jimmy does have a bowl in the ditch. Maybe 3rd. So, Jack Pullin, 4 or 5 feet of room to add here. Got to make the most of this. They want to launch a comeback. He's out on a high line. So no change.
No. So we'll get the confirmation. We believe it's 2. And it is. So 2 to the English. They score their first multiple. Australia lead at 13-4.
All 4 greens in action. Games happening everywhere. Crowds have definitely grown. Plenty to do in the area here. Strip shopping. Cafes, restaurants. Great meals here at the club. Really good area. And, of course, beautiful beach across the road. Broadbeach Bowls Club. Hosts the Australian Open finals every year. Record numbers this year.
There were.
Just over 3,000, close to 3,500 competitors. The Australian Open just grows from strength to strength. And I know a lot of these competitors in the World Championships would love to come back next year for the Australian Open after getting a taste for it here at the Worlds.
So the marker just, I think, took one off there. 13-3 it is. There was only one in the last end.
Okay.
So the marker had it at 4 and then switched it on us.
Damien Delgado, 18 inches past Jack. Beautiful leading. And it just cosmetically shapes up well the way that head's set up already. So Damo's put that bowl in the perfect spot in behind the Jack. And it gives him confidence to be able to replicate that shot because he's not having to navigate any bowls. And he's got full confidence to be able to do it again. It's just going to fall slightly short with this one, but a really nice line to the Jack coming in.
So Australia, as we enter the final stages of this match, look like they're well on their way. 2 out of the last 3 ends have gone to the English as the sun starts to possibly go away here. It's been the cause of a few of our issues here today. But we do apologise and thank you for your patience.
Damien Delgado, well, he's just got the wrong side of that bowl. But that should be enough for England. Just winning that crossover is so good for England's just confidence. Win the crossover. They can sort of dictate terms now. What are we going to do? How's the head shaping up? And it's all, at this stage, positive. And that's what you want. With Jack Pullin walking back to the mat, feeling good about himself, knowing he has the shot, and that's what you want. You want to add all day if you can. We've got helicopters and some jets. How good are those fighter jets that fly past?
Yeah, it's so good, isn't it? It is so good.
Very happening place.
Yep. Plenty going on up here. So what has Jack Pullin done here? Just won't get there. So plenty of action all around. We've got women's fours action coming up for you after this. It's going to be Australia. Dawn Heyman, Christina Christic, Lindsay Clark and Kelsey Cottrell up against Canada.
Yeah, very excited about that one.
Yep. Gold Coast's own Emma Boyd for Canada. Plays and works out of Club Tweed. So, Jack Pullin. As England look to win multiple ends in a row for the first time in this match. They haven't done so yet.
Not many spare seats in the place now, Val.
Nope,
starting to fill up.
Everybody's sitting down, watching. Got the day off work to watch the opening.
Yeah. Where else would you want to be if you're a bowls fanatic?
Exactly. It's the only place you want to be.
Jimmy Reynolds on the forehand. Trying to... Well, he's stalking it. He's going to get down in time. He's got some jack action here.
Yep. He got it, but where did it spill out to?
Out to the wing. He's one down out there.
Yep. Damo gives him that indication, but now almost drawing to a new... Well, they are drawing to a much different line. So let's see who can gain the ascendancy and if Australia can pull it back.
Jack Pullin. Yeah, he's made 2 of it. Okay, Jimmy, big moment here.
Massive moment.
England trying to just get a string of ends together, get some momentum going and strike with a big number somewhere to really make a last-ditch effort to push for a win. But Jimmy Reynolds needs to hurry.
Jimmy Reynolds, has he got enough? No.
Enough a second.
So for the first time, England take multiple ends. But when they have scored, it's only been singles. So they need to get a couple of multiples for their own chances of winning this contest. But Australia is still well and truly in control at 13-4.
Yeah, and that's that change of hand for young Fynn, Kyser. Change of length, change of hand, being able to string a few ends together. He nailed the jack twice in this direction 2 ends ago when they scored. And he got a couple of touches, so he's looking to repeat that. You know, forehand, just work up to the jack, slide on beyond. And as we saw when the jack went in the ditch last time in this direction, England had those bowls back there waiting. So Fynn, Kyser, forehand. Going to pull up short. Won't be happy with that. That could really hurt his ability to stay on that hand now. As we see the skip.
Yep.
Jack Pullin wanting it to reach, but also more so wanting it to get out of the way. And that is the key. Keeping those lanes clear.
So next session, of course, starts at 2:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is it now 12:42, just under 2 hours' time.
Damien Delgado, front toucher, if you don't mind.
He is on fire.
Not the first time we've seen on that hand, though.
Having a little bit of a laugh with members of the crowd that are supporting the Australians. So, Fynn, Kyser has his work cut out for him yet again. Damien Delgado has pushed him to the limits today.
Yeah, I thought it was time for Fynn to actually swap then. 2 options on his backhand. Come down, try and move the shot bowl, or he can actually get to the jack. There's only the one option on the forehand. The other, I guess, residual effect would be the fact that he could actually get in Damo's way or change Damo's rhythm up, whereas Damo can just go, do all this all day if he wants, because he's got free run.
Yep.
Thanks for coming.
There's another.
Yep, good switch. Probably a bowl late, but that's okay. He's switched now.
Fynn, Kyser.
Can he get the shot or change this head up for his skip? It's a fair effort. First look at it. Just going under.
Chance here for Damien Delgado to really put a stranglehold on things as we enter the final third of this match. End 11 of 15. Australia won this morning over Thailand. Hong Kong, China got the better of England directly in front of us. They are defeating Wales 12-3.
Damien Delgado, that's great leading. 2 on, 1 behind. You know, you sense the England's going to be definitely reaching up to this. And the fact that Damo's said, well, if you're going to, be careful where you go putting the jack because I'll get one back there. And that's great leading, great experience. And the thing I'm super, super impressed with, even though Damien Delgado plays up here, a lot of bowls on the Gold Coast, and he's match fit. But he's gone from Birmingham last year, Northern Hemisphere conditions, proved what he can do on the slow stuff, and here he is back on the quick stuff, getting the job done for his country. Doing it for the Jackaroos, of course, the Australian Jackaroos. Love the fact that they get their Australian cap numbers, the para players. Jimmy there with his number 6 on his cap. Great initiative from Bowls Australia.
It is great and just shows how long Jimmy's been around for and what a pioneer he has been for parabols in this country.
Jimmy Reynolds backhand it is. Can he get another one in there? Just beat that wing bowl, that red one. Just going to fall short.
Can it turn? Just not enough. Jack Pullin wants to get his team and his country back in the scheme of things and back into this game.
He's going to be under. It's a vicious hand, that. If you're not out, it will eat you up.
And we saw Damien Delgado nail a couple.
Yeah.
There, didn't we?
Yeah, full height. Nice, wide drawing. Yeah, beautiful bowling from Damo. And Jimmy can sort of just do what he wants here. Damo's done what he needs to do up front. Put the bowls in there. Jimmy can start just playing some positional stuff. Making sure there's no danger anywhere.
Really constructing the head nicely as Jack Pullin strides up to have a look. Of course, a 2 hour 15 time limit for this match, which we are going to be nowhere near when we complete it.
So Jack Pullin, a few options here. So forehand, trail the jack in the ditch, or half the front blue and get the other blue on the way out. Try and make a 1. But it'll be weight, be solid weight. There he is with his hand gesture there, just saying I'll be coming down there with some weight. Both bowls and stay, you could make 2. Even if he gets the jack high bowl and gets half jack off that, you could make a couple. But this is where you've got to play your favourite weight. The head might present itself where it might suggest there's a weight you play, but you've literally got to play your favourite weight here. And that's really solid ripping into this. Or, if it's 6 feet, it's got to be what suits you. So here we go. Jack Pullin, solid weight, trying to get right through this head. Needs a clear run. Well, what's he got after that?
Oh, he was not far off securing a result there. It would have been a lucky one, but he would have taken it, that's for sure. So 2 now for the Australians. Can Jimmy Reynolds put in another one for 3 here and extend the margin to the biggest that it's been throughout the match? That previously was 11. England have won the last 2 ends to make it 9. They've only scored singles.
Yeah, here he goes. Jimmy on the backhand. Fair bit of room for this man. If he clears the front, he's in, surely.
He just needs to clear.
He's right. Well, he got a thin slide.
Yeah, no, he went through.
I was expecting just a little thicker edge there, but just got a real thin slide. And couldn't pull up in time, but 2 shots.
So the Aussies take a 15-4 lead.
And they get the mat back.
4 ends to play. Are we going long again, Baz?
I think so. Damien Delgado. He's played very well. Rock solid. What he's been able to do, and that's every skip's dream, is nail the jack on 4 or 5 occasions. Just starts playing with the opposition's head a bit.
Yep. He's had the clear better of the lead battle.
Yeah.
And it's been all Damo, but Fynn has not been off. He's just not been able to get those corrections early when he needed to.
Yeah, it just makes the skip, in Jack Pullin. Jack's had to play every shot known to man on the rink. Draw to the ditches, play swingers, he's had to do everything because of the pressure Damien's forcing upon him on the crossover. And ideally as a skip, you don't want to have to be doing that. You want to just settle into the game and just draw to add, or, just do your job. But that's what you're there to do, and there's only so much of it you can take. And as we see there, Fynn, to his credit, giving his bowl a chance.
So neither of these two Englishmen were in England's team at the Commonwealth Games where they won bronze. It was Craig Bowler and Kieran Rollings who took home
that's right.
the bronze. So
A little hand up there from Damo saying sorry. Well, guess what, Damo? You're allowed to have a couple of rough ones, mate. You've been...
He holds himself to very high standards, though, does Damien Delgado.
Yeah, he's been rock solid. And Fynn there, that's a pretty good correction. He's taken off the required 4 feet. Damien Delgado, he's bowled 2. Can he make it with his 3rd? The shot. Can he get it back? Australia versus England. This is what it's all about. Big stage bowls.
Who's the moral victory going to, Baz?
Oh.
The old Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. There's no such animosity here.
No, not at all.
Been played in great spirit.
I just love the energy and the vibe out there from all the players. You can really see, and just looking at social media accounts and that the last few days, everyone's just honoured and thrilled to be here. World Championships. 44 countries competing. And it just reminds us how great this game is when you hear of countries playing the sport. They might not have many clubs or they might not have many members, but they are giving the game a go. And that's what it's about. Okay, Jimmy Reynolds, forehand. That 2 feet are in for shot here. Little contact, little slider. Nice. It's going to be shot anyway.
Yeah.
He's played it. So it's got to be a forehand trail here. Let's say 4 feet required by Jack. Jack Pullin. He's played really good weight. He's just going to probably be a couple of bowls narrow, but it's that good home. So Damo's got to be getting Jimmy to really monitor that pool of bowls over there at round about that sort of 4 or 5 o'clock section there. England actually have 4 bowls waiting. And Jimmy's just going to put one in there somewhere. He's done that perfectly.
Yeah, that's exactly where he needed to be.
So Jack down the line for Jack Pullin is what he's after. We'll sit the shot bowl. He's up and at him. He needs some kind of result. Solid then Jack. Well, he's going to get shot out of it.
Oh, he did. Got to have the weight to be in the area.
And you're talking about manners. Oh, a bit of a lightning. Oh, please go around. You spoke about manners there before, Val. How good was that? So a lucky result there by Jack. And Fynn just said, put his hand out, gave Damo a little apology to say we're a bit lucky there, mate.
Can Jimmy Reynolds do some damage as hopefully we can get inside before any of that rain does hit, because it's dark out there towards the west.
Multiple be what they're after here. He's going to miss high. Fair effort, though, by Jack. Okay, 1-2 England.
So England have actually won 3 of the last 4 ends here and 4 of the last 6. So they're chipping away. They just can't score in the multiples. We've got 3 to go. Down 15-5. The Sting is probably a little bit out of it. In terms of the result, the Aussies have been so wonderful, and they've just continued to have bowls in the head. The fact that we are 12 ends in, we're on the 13th end now, and the Australians haven't conceded a multiple is quite amazing.
Yeah, and this is where, lunch is not far off. You're starting to think, well, can't wait to sort of get off and have something to eat and relax. This is business end. This is when you're thinking about, I'm where I need to be. I'm playing for my country, world championship level. Need to keep our smarts, need to keep playing percentages. And ideally, if you can add a few shots to the percentages, because that's where it's won early days in the pools. You've got to get your wins up. You've got to get your shots up. And forgive me if I'm wrong, Val, but I'm guessing the higher you finish, the better it is for your draw.
Yes, so if you finish first in your group, you play the runner-up in the second group. And then if you finish second, you obviously play the winner of the other group.
Yeah, so it's all on the line in your pools, getting the wins, getting the shots, giving yourself every opportunity you can. And Jimmy and Damo, like I said, just got to keep their smarts, keep playing the percentages. 10 shots up this end and 2 after that. So Damo just needs to reset from his first one here. Forehand it is. And these are the things I spoke about earlier, Val, those externals. So what's going on in the background in terms of the weather? For those obviously watching online at the moment, there is some fairly nasty weather happening out towards the northwest.
Yep.
And
the Bureau of Meteorology decides that now is the perfect time to have an outage.
And it's your job as an athlete right now and as a competitor to control what you can control. Looking over towards the weather and focusing on the externals is not where you want to go. You've really got to stay really finely tuned into what you're doing here. Treating every bowl like it's the match winner.
The clouds are most certainly coming. It may look sunny, but it is ominous to our left and the west.
It's got a bit of Independence Day about it, hasn't it? It's coming over dark.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay, Damo, he did the damage with his second. Can he get it done with his third? Needs to get down. Well,
not sure.
It's in the mix.
Yep. So Jimmy Reynolds, some work to do. Australia, well, if they score a 2 here, then the result, well, the best result England can secure is a draw. If Australia scores a 3 here, it will be an Australian win. And England will not be able to peg the win back, but shots up matter, of course, and we saw Serena Bonnell and Cheryl Linfield in the first match this morning scoring a 5. They were down 19-10 with an end to play. Picked up a near full count. And vital shots pegged back for the Aussies as Jack Pullin gets a little bit of Jack movement.
Yeah, great shot. He's made 2 out of that.
Jack onto Jack.
He's made 2 with a head that shapes up that creates even more. They need a maximum, well, not a maximum, but they need a multiple here. And they're really sniffing hard for this one as Jimmy Reynolds comes on down and sits the second shot bowl and stays around for second. So that's a great shot. Well played, Jimmy Reynolds. The class of that guy to be able to play that shot just to try and either trail it or sit in behind, and he's done that. The whole makeup of this head's changed now. With Jack Pullin, he needs to get a clear road to this Jack or get another one in behind. Doesn't want to kick it over to Jimmy. Well, that's just bad luck. Well, it's 2 good shots, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well done, Jack Pullin. Well done. You're having a crack for your country right now. You're trying to create a little number to stay in this game, and just didn't come off for you.
So Jimmy with 2 to come. Let's see what he can do here.
Jimmy Reynolds on the backhand again. Love to see him go actually around that front bowl of Damo's. So forehander will be for Jack Pullin. So if he goes red onto red, the red bowl, nearest bowl will kick onto the jack. The blue bowl will be dislodged, and if the jack stays on, they can make 3 or 4. They've got to be looking for this. It's the only option they've got. Red through red, jack into the ditch, blue bowl pops out. Yep, he must have me mic'd up. He's not mic'd up, is he?
No,
he hasn't got me.
He might be. He might have his AirPods in. I don't know.
So there you go, Jack. Yep, as he's looking at it. Red through red. Jack's just got to stay in though, because he's going to be 3 down on the tee if all that stuff moves, and it goes out of bounds. But worth a look.
Just had to move the table back a little bit. The sun has gone, as you can see, so the rain, I don't reckon it's too far away. Hearing word that Musgrave is absolutely copping it at the moment, so expecting it to come through here as well. It'll be a 1 to the Aussies, I believe. 1 to England.
Yeah, just enough there, Jack Pullin. 2 cracking shots. You know, all the merit was there, trying to trail Jack, give himself a chance to create a little number, and that Jack just lodged onto Jimmy Reynolds' blue bowl there and restricted England from scoring more. So, but that's what we're going to see at this level across the next couple of weeks. High quality shots in moments when they matter.
So we've literally just put the sunscreen on. The sun has gone straight behind the clouds. Let's see if we can get through these final 2 ends here. The margin is at 9. England have actually won 4 of the last 5 ends and 5 of the last 7. Only scored those in singles. The Australians still have not conceded a multiple in this contest, and which is just so mightily impressive.
Yeah, Fynn Kyser, he's hung around well. I'm really impressed the way he goes about it, his energy. You know, the conditions once swapping directions. He found them just slightly difficult those first few ends, but they're 2 solid bowls there from Fynn. Great shots, 2 feet away. In the scoring zone. As we see here, all the sunlight's gone now. So the temperature of the grass will just cool off a touch.
Yep.
Might even see just the green slow down ever so slightly. But once again, so many games going on that will come down to the last end, last bowl, and all the other stuff going on around them. Just got to block all that out. And he's getting some reward here, Fynn.
Yep.
He's hustled hard. Well
he
done.
Really has.
Well
He's
done.
not given up this entire contest. High five from Jack Pullin.
Yeah, great to see.
And his 3rd bowl is good here on this penultimate end. So they have not given up in any sense of the word. And there's still a chance that's, by no means over. Australia just need to score or not concede a 3 in this end, and they're home. Damien Delgado, what's he got with his 3rd? Is it enough?
Good bowling, though.
Yeah. Great leading from both.
5 out of 6 within a yard.
So the skips make their way over to the mat, and clouds get darker and darker and darker. Got an end and a half to play in this match. We get it in before the rain hits.
Jack Pullin.
Yep.
Right on line there. So Jimmy Reynolds, forehand. Sit the shot bowl, working off the inside of it. Trail the jack. He's tight. Just wants to leave that front one of Jack's alone. He's connected on it. Jack Pullin. He needs 6 feet on a really good line previously.
What has he got here?
Definitely reaching this time.
Well, he's keen. He likes it. But it's not a bad home, so Jimmy Reynolds a bit to do here. They're still down 1. Obviously, a 1 won't concern Australia too much because should they concede just the single or even a 2, that's it. They win. We'll play out the last end, though.
Once this shot bowl solid, well, the jack.
Got the jack.
Going to go with it.
And has he done enough? I reckon he might have just. He's going to have the last bowl anyway.
So 1 to England. Fynn saying.
Yep, still 1. Eyes can be deceiving. So Fynn Kyser says to Jack, change your hand.
Great camera angle there.
Yep. Let's see what Jack Pullin can do. Jimmy just continues to be in the area and continues to probe and push. 15-6 the score. Australia can't concede a 3 in this end.
It's a good try. Just needs to slow down now.
Very good effort from Jack Pullin. Won't be enough.
If bowl's in his way, that's a fantastic effort. Just probably 18 inches out of shot.
So with that, that means that Australia, they'll win this contest, Baz, unless Jimmy drives as hard as possible and clears those 2 blue bowls.
Jack forward for 10 feet for 3, 4 down. But,
which he's not done.
He's drawn the shot.
And he has drawn it. It's a good way to ensure victory. So Australia take a 10-shot lead with an end to play here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. Jimmy Reynolds and Damien Delgado, they're going to go 2 from 2 to start this contest. That is a sensational start to their campaign. They're going to be playing Wales up next. That's tomorrow in the morning at Musgrave Hill. And then they'll take on Hong Kong, China at 11:30 a.m. Tomorrow at Musgrave. And then they have a bye through the final round. So they're actually going to know who their or what their situation is before tomorrow as to whether they've qualified or not. We lose a jack, Baz.
Oh, what a surprise.
Yeah, bowling in this direction.
Some, as I said, it's some kind of illusion thing I can't get my head around. See it so many times. But anyway, players would have learnt from that. They would have witnessed it in their training. It's just sometimes the head can't fathom what's actually happening. Still good numbers here.
So,
day 1 watching.
Final end here as Damien Delgado and Jimmy Reynolds try and finish on a high. They've won 8 of the 14 ends. England really pushed before the last end. England had actually won 5 of the previous 7. All in singles, though. Australia have just continued to have bowls in the head, as Damien Delgado has got right there. Absolutely magnificent leading from him today, and it's a job well done to Australia, who are going to go 2-0 heading into day 2 of the para competition. Their competition, of course, or their pool stages, they'll finish up tomorrow. As I said before, they've got the bye in the 5th round, so they get a little bit more of a rest ahead of what could be a finals berth. They have to finish in the top 2, and they'll know whether they do that tomorrow. Their match against Hong Kong, China, up 2nd tomorrow at Musgrave Hill, could prove decisive.
In Kyser, same line, more weight, and that's the shot.
You're right. He's hustled so hard today, Baz, Fynn Kyser. He's been really impressive. He's just not given up on anything.
Yeah, great spirit, great body language. Just love the way he's really, kept his head high. Even when Damo's nailed it, he's just always looked like he's believed in every bowl, and that's all he can do.
Yep. The difficult thing for England now is, how do they regroup for tomorrow? Because they're 0 from 2 now. They lost to Hong Kong, China this morning. Hong Kong, China look like they are going to go 2-0 as well. They're up 17-4 against Wales on the rink next door. So, it's difficult for England, Baz. How do they regroup going into tomorrow?
Yeah, I think you've just got to focus on the positives. I think it's a bonus that they've been live streamed. Go back, watch the game, even sit around, have a cup of tea tonight, or have a feed and just debrief. Watch the game, stick it on the TV, and chat about all the things they believe they did well and some areas they can improve on.
So after 10 ends behind us, Thailand leading Cheryl Linfield and Serena Bonnell 10-9. So the Australians in a very close contest there as Jimmy Reynolds fires down his first of the final end.
Just going a touch. Can he get down off the bowl? He can.
I reckon he might have.
England's still holding 1.
Thought he might have done it. But that Fynn Kyser bowl is enough. What's Jack Pullin got? This has been an excellent start for the Australians.
Well, so good so far with the weather. Seems to be missing us at this stage.
Oh, Baz, that's famous last words.
This stage.
That's it. At the Scott Thorburn weather radar back at Adelaide a few years ago, and he kept saying that it's going to miss us. It's going to miss us. I think he was on with Clive at the time.
Jimmy Reynolds, little toucher for 3.
Oh,
He's done it.
And the celebration to boot. Jimmy Reynolds, you start. Phenomenal.
Well, they've got a back bowl there, England. Expecting some weight here from Jack Pullin. Forehand it is.
He's gone big. He's in behind it. Jack Pullin.
Close here.
Almost. He got one out.
Just too thick on that front bowl of Jimmy's.
So one more each. But Jimmy Reynolds, let's have a look at this again. Coming around.
Yeah, took the weight off.
And then ran in behind it. And a little wave as well. He knew. Sensational from the Australian Capital Territory product. Jimmy Reynolds with his final bowl of the day. They've enjoyed a wonderful morning that's extended into the afternoon. And this is his final bowl of the match, and the day at Broadbeach, they'll go to Musgrave tomorrow.
Yeah, wants it to hurry a touch. Another yard. It's pretty good there. Probably want another maybe yard on it, but Jack Pullin just trying to trail that Jack out to sort of 4 or 5 o'clock there. And
what do you reckon? That's 3 at the moment?
Yeah, if it's not...
definitely 2 for the Aussies.
Don't think it'll change Jack's shot here. Coming down, looking for the Jack. Just depends who's got the tee there. There is a back bowl there of Damo's. So, forehand, big weight again. Searching.
What's he got?
Looks to be on the slight higher side. Needs some work off the wing bowls.
Won't get it.
Not enough.
So that will do. I believe that's a 2. Oh, we're not. Yeah, it was a 2 to the Australians. So they get the job done 18-6 in what was a brilliant display. They only dropped 6 ends or 7 ends for the entire match. Or 6 ends for the entire match. Brilliantly done by the Aussies. They should be so proud of what they've achieved today. 2 wins from 2 matches. Jimmy Reynolds and Damien Delgado, superb, Baz.
Yeah, they read the conditions really well. I love the fact that they really settled into their own length early and knew what the rink was doing. Both hands, slightly different. So, and just took the English boys a little while to adapt. But yeah, full credit to them as well. They didn't drop their heads. They stuck tough, and they're still a team I think's got a lot left in them for this tournament.
They do, but a brilliant performance from Damien Delgado and Jimmy Reynolds. They've got the job done. They would be absolutely thrilled with themselves. 2 from 2 to start proceedings here at the World Bowls Championships in the Paramen's pairs. We'll be back in just over an hour's time, an hour and 14 minutes to be exact, for women's fours action. Australia against Canada. That's coming up after this. A big thank you to Barry Lester. It's been Val Febo and Barry Lester on Ringside Live. We'll catch you very soon.